Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Good evening. Welcome to the IICS Combo session. Okay. So from today, for the next 5 to 6 days or 7 days maximum, we'll go for this API or CAI. Okay. Both will see. Okay. So what is API? Right. So this topic may be like something like very new topic, right? If you come from Informatica as an Informatica developer, right? So we do not seen this topic in Informatica developer, right? So most of you all attended IICS now based on your Informatica Power Center knowledge. Yes, you understood what is IICS. So far, we have conducted IICS class. Okay. So IICS is we can compare with Informatica Power Center each and every topics, correct? So we have in IICS all the transformations we have. The same transformation it is available in the Informatica Power Center also, right? So you can able to compare so that you will get an idea, correct? Oh, this is what that. Okay. Expression transformation. Okay. Expression I know already. I have seen in Informatica Power Center. Right? Router transformation. Yeah, I know router transformation. So to split the data into different target, we are using a router. So you have an idea. When I take a router transformation in IICS, definitely you can able to correlate with the Power Center. Correct. So when some topics, right, in IICS, replication task and hierarchy schema, hierarchy builder, right? So all these, some of the options, features we have only in the IICS, right? So not all the features is available in Informatica Power Center. Some of the topics it is available in the IICS. So this is why we are calling it as its advanced version, and the recent trending we are talking about IICS cloud and all, correct? So in the same way, we have something called API and CAI, like this and all. So what is this application? So the full form of API is, we can call it as application programming interface. That is called API, correct? So most of you already might be gone through all this. So what it could be, many of you will be in different stage, because it is a very new topic. It's a hot topic in the market for a IICS developer, right? It's not only related to the IICS. It's a common topic. API is not only related to the IICS. It's a common topic, and it's known already to the many developers, right? As an Informatica developer, you might be not aware also what is API and all, because you have not seen in Informatica Power Center. But it's a very common topic. It is not only for IICS. Okay. So application programming interface. So this application programming interface we are using in our daily life, actually, without knowing to us. We are using this API related topics or applications in different way. We are using in a day-to-day life. We are using every day. We are using API. It's not a very new topic. It's a very old topic, in fact. Okay. So when IICS, in fact, it's from many years, more than 10-20 years, application programming interface. It is there actually. Every day we are using in our day-to-day life. We are using. Okay. So we not to think that it is a very new topic. Okay. What is application programming interface? Just we will see the definition, and we will go through the different examples also. Then we will go through the how it is relating to the IICS, our IICS cloud in practical. That also we will see everything. Each and every topic we will compare and also we will cover everything. Even in the IICS and also without IICS and all. Wow. So most of the things we will try to compare with IICS only, because not all the IICS APIs are depending on our cloud only, because we have a lot of databases in the market, right? So different ETL tools also is there, correct? Cloud also, talent is there, and we have Azure Data Factory, right? So how they are all using API? It's not only for, but there is some advantages in IICS compared to any other ETL tool in the market, Cloud ETL, right? So we have Azure Data Factory from the Microsoft, and talent is there, and many other databases, cloud databases is there, and also ETL tools is there, right? So how all these are relating, we'll see everything. Okay. So what is application programming interface? An API is a communication interface between two separate software or entity, right? So by these two words, you can able to assume, you can able to make an idea. Okay, this is what API, right? So entity or components that allows to share data to each other, right? So some idea you got now, with just within these two words, two lines, you can able to assume. So what it could be, what is API, what is API, what is this topic related to, what is this? So an API operates as a bridge between internal and external software operations, allowing for a fluid interchange of data that frequently passes undetected by the end user, right? So with this line, you are cleared. In simple words, an API acts as a virtual middleman, transferring data from one interface, such as a mobile application, to another. APIs connect various sections of a software platform to guarantee that information is sent correctly or not, right? So exactly we got an idea now what it could be API, right? So we have the types of APIs also, right? Different types. So we have other types, that is, you might be heard in recent time that SOAP API and REST API and all. Okay. So before that, we will see the basic types of API, right? That is an API, that is, we have like private API and public API. We can call it as even open API, that public API. Okay. So private API, what is private API? An API which is only available to developers and users within a company, right? So these APIs are often used to link internal team operations, to remove silos and streamline communications, right? So that you got an idea now. Just we will see the definition and types, then we will overview on that. Okay. Just observe. Open API. What is Open API? On the other hand, Open APIs allow third-party developers to quickly access and merge data from one tool to another. An open or public API saves time for developers by allowing them to link their platform with already existing tools, minimizing the need to construct new services. Okay. So this is what the basic definitions and basic understanding of API, right? Okay. So by this time, you got an idea what and all this API can do and where we can apply this topic, right? If you ask, you take any examples, right? We can take hundreds of examples. not one example or two examples. So in day-to-day life, we are using, we may be using some at least 5 APIs daily. Okay. So without knowing us, you are not dealing with API directly, but without API support, you cannot use that service. That service itself is working towards that API only, right? So what and all, we can see that one by one. Okay. So what we will see, you can see, like, let us see. Okay. So we'll just take one example, right? And then we will convert the same example to different examples. Okay. So for example, we'll take some examples, right? So what example we can take? Like, okay, we can take first example, Google Map. Okay. So Google Map is a very best example, we can say. Every day we are using, right? Google Map. So Google Map without API, Google Map, how it can interact with another entities, right? So who and all will interact with Google Map? Google Map, correct? Google Map API. It's a open API. Whoever wants to take the service, they can interact with the Google API. They can take the key from the Google Map API and you can use it in your app. What is the app? Any app you can take, right? We have a lot of apps nowadays. Now it is there. Before 10 years, very few apps was there for using the Google Map API. Before 20 years, I don't think it was existing. We have to check it, right? So wherever we are using Google Map API, you take any example. We have today hundreds of examples for using the Google Map API, right? So you take, so who will be using this? Okay. So you take this Ola, okay, Ola, and we can take the example as this Uber, okay, Uber, right? Then we can take example of what we can take Zomato, okay, Zomato, and we can take the example of Swiggy, right? Swiggy. And we can keep on add like this. There is no limit for this today, because Google Map, it is not using only for the people who are traveling or the outside. Okay. Even each and every companies, they are adding their Google Map in their website also, right? Because they want to track the person who is the customer, particular customer who is calling from which location, right? That also they want so that each and everyone need the support of Google Map API today, right? So previously we were creating the websites and all, not that much, but today the business, the marketing is gone to a different level, so that they want all the things, right? So they have to make that business best business, and that way they are going to all these level. Okay. So in this case, this one example, we can say Google Map API, right? So if it is a Google Map API, I told now, correct? Another example I can say, right? What is the example I can say? I can take any banking. Okay. Take any banking. Like I'll take now Axis Bank. Okay. So Axis Bank API. So Axis Bank, what he will do? He will give a API. Okay. So you cannot interact with me directly. You cannot interact with me directly, because banking is a very highly security needed entity, correct? Compared to any other entity. Of course, everyone needs a security, but still banking is specifically, it's a very crucially they want security. Okay. So if they want to share something from their bank, they must have the proper secured API, right? Everyone is a secured API only. So they must have the complete control, right? So they will give the API. So tomorrow, if somebody is coming recently before some, you can just phone pay. Okay, you can take phone pay, right? Phone pay is another example for banking related, and we can take phone pay and we can take GPay, correct? GPay is a best example we can say, and any UPI, right? So all these things and all what they are, this is for our within the country, correct? For international level, international business, we can say like PayPal, okay? So many of you know what is PayPal. For any purchase in the international level from one country to another country, so we will go through the PayPal, okay? So within our country, we are using all this, correct? So PayPal is another example, right? So what is PayPal? And we can say like within our country, we can give another example, Paytm, everything you know, okay? This is another example we can say. So what they are doing actually, so what they are doing is they are the company, the banking, any bank you can take, SBI or HDFC, anything. So they are giving a API, but so through that code, they can interact with them. You cannot directly interact with the banking, right? So for each and every operation, they will give a different API will be there generated, okay? So if you take any operations, like I want to see the balance, right? For balance checking, correct? Balance checking I want to do. So there is a API. Okay. Then you want to check your statement. For every function, there is a different API from the same banking. It's not a common API for each and every function, right? Statement API, a different API. Okay. And we can say like, I want to see my balance, you have seen statement, you have seen, right? We have multiple functions in the net banking. If you go and see, we have multiple functions. All these functions, it will generate a different API. They will set and they will keep it, okay? So that they will interact with the Axis Bank too. So what is the advantage? Why we don't want to interact directly to the customer, right? So this side, the customer will be there, where the end user, correct? The end user is here. End user is directly using the phone pay. So whatever the functions you want to do, except you can't take money from phone pay. That's different. Cash you can't take, except that option. If you want cash, you want to go to ATM. That is different. But unless the cash, you can transfer money to another person, right? You can transfer. You can directly access with your bank. It's almost same only, no difference at all. Okay. Either directly, if you want to interact, yes, that is also the banking is given. That is called, you have the banking, that personal banking option is there. No, the app is there. Even app will be given. That you can do. The end user directly, they can interact with the bank in that way, right? Personal net banking option, right? That you can do. But there is another entity in between when you are using this phone pay and all. Phone pay, GPay, UPI, right? UPI or PayPal, Paytm, anything, right? So this is another option. So you may ask, why don't we directly interact each and everything? Why don't we directly interact for each and everything to the bank? Correct? We can do it, right? For an example, why if you ask, right? If you ask, I'll give another example. What is the advantage of using this this center, this middleman, right? We call it as middleman, right? The center person, this phone pay, right? I will give you another example, right? If you are a customer, right? If you are a customer, right? Then, so you are interacting with whom? For example, you want to book a what to say? Book a flight. Okay. A customer is going to book a flight. At the time, what happens? You want to interact with the airlines, correct? Indian Airlines, correct? Indian Airlines. And then we can take many options is there for flight also. Indigo. Okay. Indigo is there. And if you want to see, we have SpiceJet, correct? SpiceJet is there, correct? So this is an option, right? So while booking this SpiceJet or any flight, you will not book only the flight, correct? You will also book what? You will also book a place also where I want to stay. I will not book, I will also book a hotel also, right? Where I want to go and stay. If there is a place, it is all right, right? Usually the people will go for official work, right? So maybe the hotel booking will be done by the company itself. If you are officially, if you are going, the company itself, they will book all this, right? Either the company is booking or you are booking, there is an entity between that also, right? So that entity will see, the company will see that particular hotel is the open, there is a place or not, there is a vacant is there or not, that they will see that, okay? So you can take any particular hotel to stay, okay? To stay some hotel, you have to book, right? So what you will do, so you may ask, why don't I directly, this end user directly, why they should, this customer, right? This customer is directly, why don't they interact to the hotel? So you can call the hotel, particular hotel, and you can book a place, right? So first of all, you want to call them, and most of the case you will also mail, okay? If you give a mail, they will check it and they will also reply. For mailing and reply, it will take some time, okay? So between in that time, that room will be booked by someone else also. That is also chances is there. That room will be booked by whom? The people who are using API directly interact with the center person is there, right? So he is getting the live record from the hotel itself. So whenever there is a vacant, there is a open as there, or it is closed, the room, particular room number or whatever, right? If it is vacant, it will be, he can able to see live everything, right? So that is the importance of API. Okay. Live, there is a live option. Live giving by whom? The service provider. Okay. So live option is there. That is why we are using the API. So you will not get the live option, right? You cannot go and see live. But this is the best advantage. So while if you are trying to book that particular room or whatever, by the time it will be booked by someone else. So when you are having the live data, live record, so these advantages, so these troubles, you cannot face this kind of problem when you are having the API and there is a center person, right? So he will be keep on monitoring and he will keep on give that in his website or in his, that is what we have many options, right? To book the Indigo, we are not dealing directly to the airlines or Indigo, right? We have some more options. We have some more brokers, we can say, right? Those people, what they will do, they will have a keep on touch with all these people. Either it is a hotel booking, either it is a flight booking. They will have a package also, right? The single person, this person, he will have the interaction with the customer, and he will give the direct support to the customer directly, and he will tell the customer this particular airlines, this particular it is there is no availability of the seat now, and this particular hotel room there is no availability of the room now. If there is a room, he will inform, so that you can able to, so they will have the touch with all these people. So that is the advantage. You don't want to go to the each and every Indian Airlines, Indigo, SpiceJet, and particular this hotel, that hotel. Okay. So that is the biggest advantage of using this particular API, or that is happening only through the live API records. Okay. So what they will do, this Indian Airlines, they will create a API, right? They will create a API, and they will leave it as public. Public means it is not for the public people. It is for the particular companies. They are supporting the entities. Sorry. So this is what the thing. Okay. So we can take any examples, right? So every day we are keep on using this API in different way without knowing to us we are using. Okay. Every day we are using, no. For any hotel, restaurant, he will have the stock or not. That also one entity they will support, right? So they will have different. Even this Zomato will have the API of all the things, right? They will also have the API, right? So it is not that all the companies or small shops they are maintaining API, not like that. But the big restaurants and they are all will have that IT sector, and they will have all these options. They might be they will be keep on exposing their stocks and all whatever is there or not. So we can take like this any example, right? So if you take anything example like this and all, okay. So you can take even a YouTube also, okay. So YouTube, they will have a API, okay. YouTube will have the API, and so within your website, you take any website, okay, you want to expose that particular YouTube API. If you have the take the you can take that YouTube API and you can play that video in your website. That is also possible, right? So everything will have their charges also. It's not that easy, and it's not everyone can do. So they will have that particularly you can take like right. So we'll have Netflix and all is there, right? So you can take the example of Netflix also. So they will be keep on playing some movies and all, right? You can go and see any movies, and also like we have Netflix also, we can take many examples we can take, right? And we have, right, Netflix, and we have Spotify for audios, right? So all these many examples we can take. So basically what we have to understand with this is, so wherever there is a publicly, if someone wants to expose their data, there is a situation, the scenario is like that, then they will go through this. That is called public API, right? So internal API also is there. That is also we have seen, right? Internal API means private API. So within the company itself, an API which is only available to the developers and users within a company, that is within them, they can do it, right? These APIs are often used to link internal team. They will have multiple teams. They want to have the different teams with their interactions. They want to give some, they want to create one API, one team, and the same API will be accessed by an other team, right? Team operations. So these all are some of the basic things we have to understand about the API generally, okay. So basically what they will do, and So the process, what is the example we can say? The process, what they will do is they will have one. Basically, we can see like two entities will be there, right? You can take an example like so we have something we have seen, right? In Informatica also we have a server and we have a client, right? Similarly, here also we have a server. What is the process? What they are doing is server and client. So what they are doing is they will send one. There is a examples. There is a language called here request and response, right? They will send a request. The client will send the request to the server. Client will send a request. And the server will give what? They will give the response. Yeah, yes. They will give some response on this. Okay. So the server will give some response. Here the client is sending the server the request. Okay. And here we have the response we are getting from the response. So these are some technical words we have to use in the case of API. What is request? What is response? These are our day-to-day activities in the API topic, right? Okay. So far we have seen so many examples we have seen, right? We have seen the banking, we have seen banking sector, we have seen, and we have seen the first we have seen even the flight booking or airlines or Indigo, everything we have seen, right? So these are all, and YouTube also we have seen. So we have seen the example of Google Map we have seen, correct? So the Google Map can be accessed by any, if you want to start a company, with this like a Ola or Uber, you have to go through the Google Map API. You want to access with the Google Map API. Then the same thing you can use it. Even you can also use. Actually, I also tried one similar app. So almost it is in process. So once it is completed, I will let you know. Okay. So we have a lot of hundreds of examples like this. So you might be heard about AccuWeather, correct? It is based on another example, right? AccuWeather. Just go and type AccuWeather. So this AccuWeather, you might be seeing weather features, no? That you are almost taking everything. Everyone is, even Google also accessing with AccuWeather only, right? So what is this AccuWeather? It's an international entity which is providing the AccuWeather, and that means weather conditions, right? You can see here Bangalore 23 degrees centigrade. It's showing, right? So how we have to deal with this is they are also giving an API, correct? So this AccuWeather, it's a common platform for most of the weather related services, right? So we can go and use this API, and I will tomorrow I will show how to practically create how to access with AccuWeather, right? How even the Google also taking the support from AccuWeather, that also is there, right? So for every service there is a particular entity. They will be the they will be the, you want to approach them only, niche market, right? So niche means what? Niche market means like particular service you want to service, you want to get the service from there only. Okay, for example, IRCTC, right? So for train booking, there is no any other competitor, right? Like some services, they will take the niche market. You have to approach with them only, right? So because they will take the complete mastership on that particular service, so that you can take, right? So they will, everything they will give the API only. So even if you go to, if you want to create a weather application, yes, yeah, you can create. If you want to create within 2 hours, you can create a weather application. You can give a, you can create a app also, right? Android app. You can create an Android app within by yourself, without free of cost. You can create an app within some 1 hour maximum. You will create the app. That is okay. You will create the interface, human interface, whatever you are giving the name, everything. But where you will get that service? That service you want to take from this AccuWeather. That is a common API, right? Okay. So this Axis Bank, they will have the database. Okay. They will have the database. What database? You can take any database, Oracle, okay, Oracle or SQL Server, whatever you want, you can take. Okay. Then what is the language they will be using? They will be using the language of Java or Python. Okay. So these and all they will be using. Correct. Right. So here they will be creating a API. They will be creating a API. Correct. So by using what? So the same thing as I told, like Java or .NET, okay, and also we have something PHP and a number of. So it's a very open and it's a common thing. They will give the option to use in all the ways, right? So what you have to do? So they will give a different. They will create a different API, right? For login on API, okay, login option on API, right? Login API. They will create like login API and balance, check balance. There is another API, check balance API. Then any transaction, any net transfer, money transfer, okay, money transfer with MPS net, right? So we have all the options. For every options, they will have a API so that you can approach as a third party. Okay. So we can approach to like web actually, web or like HTML, or we'll have like CSS and many other languages, right? So these people will be getting connected to them. That is this PhonePe or the GPay or the Beam, okay, Beam or UPI or whatever, right? Then PayPal, all this, Paytm, everything, okay? So this is the way they will be connecting to that, so that here the customer will be there. The customer will be approaching these people directly. They will install the app of the particular app and they will give their credentials, which is using to this particular bank directly, okay? So that few things, they will have the API, all these transactions which is happening through, that is the best example I can say, okay? Day-to-day activities, okay? So how this communication is happening across the different languages, it is happening. these applications are completely, it is a heterogeneous. We can't say there is no question of homogeneous, right? So different databases, it's a completely a heterogeneous only you will get, not homogeneous. So the Java communication with HTML or even like Android, right? iOS, different languages. Java communication, how they will do? What and all will be there? So Java, they are using what? They are using the Android also. And we can, iOS is the right. iOS is an important example. iOS and different languages will be there. Okay. So these applications are completely heterogeneous only will get, not homogeneous. So the banking is saying that we don't allow you to directly communicating with the databases. They are having the databases, no? Right? So these are all databases, SQL Server or anything you can take, right? Any Snowflake or anything they might be installing in their entity. Okay. They might be using Oracle or anything. You can't approach this particular database directly. We don't allow you to directly communicating with the databases using these applications and all. Okay. So we will expose our API. We will expose our API. So all these applications can access that API through the HTTP. They will have HTTP, no? They will give HTTP, particular HTTP they will give. Okay. So each and every language have the capability to deal with the API. All the languages will have the capability to deal with this particular API. So it's API is a very standard communication. It's a very common communication. They will have all the options you can approach with in all the ways. Okay. API is very standard. Okay. Because they have to deal with all kinds of entities, right? They may be coming from any, right? They will have the openness, that is standard communication will be there. So what is the communication format over the API, right? So HTTP is the protocol, right? HTTP is the protocol. We are just communicating. Okay. So how this communication will happen? So that communication will happen either using for example, these are all I told. Okay, this PhonePe or whatever. Okay. So I need a user details with the login using a API. Okay. So to check the balance, there is another API I already told. To get the bank statement, you can get another API. So like this, different APIs we will have. So using the API only, all these communications is happening. Okay. So what is Axis Bank will say, using API, perform your transaction. Please perform your transaction through only this API. No any other option for you to deal with us. Okay. For all the things like PhonePe or GPay, they will be saying the same thing. Okay. So maybe tomorrow some new application may be also coming up. Not only this API, this PhonePe or whatever. So tomorrow some other person is coming, right? So PhonePe or mobile pay, whatever, something will be coming tomorrow, right? So what he have to do? He will approach to the bank through the API only, not only PhonePe tomorrow. Okay. So the Axis Bank or he will be saying you can perform your operation using this API, right? So they will simply say, using this API, go and you start your operations. That's what they are saying. Okay. This API will be in complete of the banking system. For any reason, for any security reason, they want to stop this API. Yes. Axis Bank will stop it if they want. Tomorrow they got some issue. Okay. Tomorrow they face some issue. Okay. at the time for security reason, for some few days or even permanently, they can stop the API. They will have the complete control on this API. Okay, they can simply stop this API and there will be no more communications. There will be no any communications between this phone pay to banking. No GPay can connect with this API. So completely, so you will also not get that service from that particular bank if they stopped. That is happened many times, right? So some of the banks like initially it is happened. Example, if I want to say like S Bank, it is closed, no S Bank. So we can say S Bank example. So due to some reasons, they stopped this API that is happened before some 3-4 years. Many of you know S Bank, it's a very, right? So S Bank, we can say an example. So they stopped actually API and also there was no any communication with anyone. You can't do any transaction. If you want to do any transaction, you do the transaction directly to the bank. You can go to the bank directly or you can use the bank's net banking app, or even that also if they want, they can stop. You can go and directly approach to the branch only directly. That is also happened sometime. Okay. For sometimes due to security reasons or service reason, they will stop this API. That is also possible. So they will have a very good control on this API. Okay, this API is going through many securities. They will have they will have this banking, they will have lot of securities. So all the securities they will be apply on this API. Okay. So what are the applications running in the API? They can easily control. So another example, if you want to say, so popularly we recently we have seen, right? So WHO, right? So WHO produced a API for us. World Health Organization, right? World Health Organization. Okay. So we'll take this example for practical today. We have other examples also for practical. Okay. So what they will do? So at the time, what happened? 2 years back, what it is happened? There was a scenario for Corona. Okay. Corona, what happened? So each and every country had the same issue. Okay. So WHO, they created an API. It's a public API. Okay. So what they can do? So our Indian government had a app. What is that? Arogya Sindhu, or what is that?
Arogya Setu.
Arogya Setu, sorry. Arogya Setu, correct. Arogya Setu, correct. So this Arogya Setu, who is maintaining this? It is maintaining by the Indian government, correct? So what they will do, they will check with all the states, state by state, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, right? They will update all these to this Arogya Setu app. So through this Arogya Setu app, they are updating this to the WHO. If you go and see in the WHO app, right? So they given one website also. In that you can go and see the whole world, wherever there is a Corona updates, you can see everything in that. So how it is happening? So in Indian government, we are having a Arogya Setu, right? So if you take USA, they will have another, right? XYZ, some other app or some other platform. USA, okay? UK, they will have a ABC, okay? UK. So what they can do? So all are directed to this particular API, WHO API. Okay, everyone should update here because WHO is the central support for any health issues, right? So they have to take care and they have to respond to everyone. So that they created a API from the WHO API. Okay. So this Arogya Setu, they will update to this particular, and similarly for all the countries, right? World Health Organization. So who will create a API? They will share to different countries. They will share the corona cases. They have to share. So WHO is saying that you can upload the data using this particular API, right? They are asking to the every country, please upload your cases, corona cases, whatever is there, please upload here. So in that case, API would be like data consumer, right? That is what API. Okay. So by using the same API, they are exposing the data as well. Okay. So this data will be used by different applications. Might be your different channels like different webs. That is what Arogya Setu, our application in India, right? So in different countries, maybe using another similar apps also. Maybe apps they are using, maybe using some websites. That is they can take care, but they want the response. That's all. So WHO will do the data analysis by using this data, right? So collected from the API platform. So all these things will happening through the support of API only. Without API, it is not possible. Okay. So just let me open this. Yeah. This API is designed by whom? This is designed by WHO. Okay. So you have all the options here. What and all is there? Just see here. You can get the reports, right? You can choose your particular country here, right? USA, or if you mention as India, IND, then it will give the update of India. Okay. So JSON. Okay. So JSON is the very big role here. It plays a very big role in the case of API. And also we have XML also, right? But compared to XML, we are using more with JSON only. Okay, that is the trending. Okay. So this one anyone can access, right? I am just open now only, correct? So, but banking API we cannot access due to security reasons. So you can go and see all the details. It's a public API. Okay. But the banking we cannot see like that, right? So this COVID API designed for public use. Maybe while uploading the data, some agreements and other policies will be there actually. Okay, between each and every government, they will have a policy. Okay, so the government will upload the data to this particular API, and anyone can access to see the current reports. Anyone can see, right? See, it is having all the options. Regions, you can go and set their regions, right? So whatever the region around the world, you can select, right? So you can go and see the reports also, right? It's open even now also, right? So the government will upload the data to the API. So anyone can read in this API, so they can have the interface. How a basic API will be like, right? So if you want to get the report of the API, if you go to this report, go to the reports, right? So if you want to get the reports, you have the reports option here. Okay. So you can see, including the data type also they given. Data type they given, you can see here, string. Okay. They are given in the string they given. This is the data type. They are giving the different API here. So you can, if you want to go, you can go and try it out here. Okay, just try it out. So it will be freezing. If you give try it out, it will open. Okay. So it's mentioned as USA. You can give your country also. If you see this API. Okay. So it's given like, finally, it's giving like 200 HTTP, 200 OK, like this. Okay. So you want to give the date, region, country, everything you want to give. Then it will give the result of this. So where is the result? So this is what the result. So the current page, right? So different you have here. In the, see here, total cases, 100 cases, current page, and next page, previous page, everything they given here. Okay. So this format is, if you see, you can, by seeing, you can understand this is a JSON format only. Okay. So number of deaths happened. Number of deaths happened, recovered difference, active difference, fatality. Okay. Just to give your details completely, and finally you can give the execute. So accordingly, if you use this, you can use this particular, you can copy and you can see it in a, as a common data. That is also possible. See one by one. Okay. So they are giving the options here for executing everything. You can do the execute for each and everything. You can go and execute here after update, after your update. If you change this to India, so you can change the data also. You can give the data also here. The date given, no, you can give another date. According to the date, it will give the result. So for everything, it will create a URL. Okay. So where is the URL? So this is the URL. For each and every update, there is a URL. See here, it is giving, right? COVID API and India region. So all this it is giving. You can open this one. What is that? Postman. Yeah. So this is the Postman. What is this Postman? So just go and type Postman in the Google. Okay. You can create a account for Postman. Okay. Postman, type Postman, and it will open like this. Right. Since I already created an account, it will open directly for you. You want to create an account. You want to create an account. Okay. So it's a free only. You can use it. So it's using for most of our project now. Okay. So even for our IICS, it is using, right? Everywhere it is using. It's a common platform. Okay. Just to go and create Postman, right? My workspace. Click on this My Workspace. It will open like this. Okay. So what we seen here, actually this URL, you can go and directly, just I will copy this particularly. Yeah, it's opening, right? So what is this? So this is JSON. Okay. This JSON, the same URL we have to call to IICS. What we have to do? This particular JSON we have to call to IICS by using Postman, right? But before calling in the API, you should have all these details. You should have all these details. Okay. So here they are even mentioning about the date format also, I told. Okay. Here you can see the date format is there. So this 14.3, the same format only you can use. If you change the format, it will not work. Okay. See, YMD. This is what the format they are using. You can't change this format. If you change the format, it will give the error. Okay. right? I'll change this format like this. See, it's saying that. So it is saying the date does not match. The format should be like this. It is saying, okay, year, month, date, year, month, date. This should be the format. It is indicating to us. So go and use the same format only. Now it is giving, okay, the format, whatever they considered that particular API, that only will match it. Otherwise, it will not match. Everything it is controlled there itself. It says that does not match with the format, right? That's what. So this is how they can make the validation of the data also. They will do the validation like this. So they have the complete control on the API. Okay. So whoever is exposing this API, right? So this banking and WHO or whatever, right? So for banking, you are accessing through GPay or PhonePe, but for this COVID related, you are accessing through this WHO app only. So you need to go to the respective API, right? Then you have to approach. So far we have seen all this. So we'll see some more things about API. So we have seen two types of, that is private API and public API. Now we will see, that is the practical thing we will see. Okay. So REST API. REST API. Okay. What is REST API? Right. REST API, it will response. It will response what? It will response the JSON only. And also XML also, not only JSON and XML it will support. JSON and XML, two formats also it will support REST API. Right? Wherever you're using JSON respond and also XML, then it is you want to assume that it is a REST API. This can be a interview question also. Okay, they will ask, REST API will support what type of data and all. Then you have to say it will support JSON and XML. Right? What is the other one? We have SOAP API. SOAP API, correct? SOAP API means what it will do. So you have, whenever you are using only XML, okay, SOAP API will support only with XML, right? Not with JSON. So this is the biggest difference between SOAP API and. So most of the time, REST API only we are using now. REST API can handle both the JSON and XML, right? As well, right? So that the usage of REST API is more compared to the SOAP API. So these are the new generation format which is using in the real time, right? Previously we were using different formats of data. So new generation we are using XML and API, XML and JSON. So nowadays most of the APIs are converted into REST API. Even some APIs they were using SOAP API, even that also converting to the REST API nowadays. So REST API is most faster actually, okay, compared to this one. So which is faster compared to SOAP? It is the REST API is the faster one. So why are we using this Postman? If someone is giving the API to you, they are giving an API, right? URL. So it's ideally expected that instead of going to IICS, you will get any API. Please check with this Postman only. So by using the URL in the Postman, right? So understand the API, what is the response? Okay. So I will just copy the same here itself. I will open one tab here. There is an option called URL in the Postman, right? So whatever I taken from this WHO, right? I just copied here. So here I'm just giving a send. Okay. I'm clicking a send here. So it is giving the particular data also here. See here, right? So whatever you are getting from the browser, same thing you can able to see here also. See, so depth difference and confirmed difference and last update, right? So recovered, how many cases recovered, and active, how many cases it is active, how many difference, fatality, everything it is there, right? How to create a API in IICS. If you want to go through this application integration, just I will open my IICS. Okay. So this is the first time you may be approaching with this, correct? Some of you may be already opened all this, correct? Application integration. Okay. So we are very good with this platform and all data integration, and we are very good data integration. And you know what is monitor? So what is the monitor? So monitor will give the results, whatever is there, whatever you have done, everything you can go and see in the monitor, right? Whatever you have done with the data integration. So for whatever the mappings you have seen, mapping task, whatever and what and all you created, everything you can see in the monitor, correct? So these all are the things I have already created, mapping task and all. Okay. That is what the monitor is supporting us, correct? Similarly, we have something called application integration. So this application integration, you can create different process. We call as mapping in the data integration, mapping task in the data integration. Whatever you're creating in the application integration, we call it as process. Okay. So whatever the process you created, everything you can see in the application integration console. So this application integration console, we can compare with the monitor. So the monitor, what it is doing, even in our application, even in our power center also, monitor is there. What is doing monitor? Monitor is giving the last what and all we have done. You can see in the monitor. Similarly, we have, okay, let us keep start this power center so that I can show some example with that also, right? So this application integration console, it will give the what and all I have done. You can see the past history, you can see your project, right? So what you can do, you want to go through this application integration, right? So this console, application integration console, it's a similar to this monitor, that's all. Okay. Let us create a process. How to create a process? Click on this application integration. Okay. So what it is showing, it is seems to be like our same like our data integration only, right? There is a explore, there is a import, export, there is a folder you can create, whatever, and everything is there, right? So here, if you click on this new, you can create a mapping in the data integration. If you click on this new here, okay, so there is an option called process. I don't know, process. Whatever you're doing here, we can call it as process, okay? Just to create a process. So when you open this, it will open like this, okay? So whatever we create here, we can call it as process. So what is this and all? So in data integration, you can see different transformations here, right? expression transformation, everything you will see. But here you have different services, assignment, service, right? And different tasks and all you are seeing here, right? Tasks. If you scroll here, it is showing different tasks, like assignment task, everything task it is showing. Okay. So as of now, if you just click on this start, you can see here, right? So as of now, if you click on the start, you will see all the properties of start, right? So what and all is there? Input fields is there, output fields is there, and temp fields is there, and all these things is there, right? Here it is showing the same folder only. What is the folder you created in the data integration? So that location will not change. If you want, you can change. That options and all will be visible same only here. So one thing you want to note, whenever you're using this particular API, right? For each and every changes, you want to keep on save, right? Otherwise, you will lose the data. Okay. For each and every, this is not that much frequently you will be using in the data integration. But in the case of API, you should have to keep on save each and every step. So let us create a simple API. Okay. So shall we create a API and we'll do a process today itself, or we'll go for tomorrow? Anyone wants to say anything? We'll create a process here. Shall we do today itself, or we'll go tomorrow? Right? We'll create a tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So whatever we have seen, only the theory part today, right? So hope the topic is clear. Everything. Any doubt is there in today's topic? Anyone? Is it clear? Everything? The why we are using API? What is the different types of API, and what is the real-time usage of API? What all are the real-time usages we are using in the real day-to-day life in even currently also, right? So any doubts is there in this? And I've shown some example about the COVID related topics, right? So we have to create the process here. How we are approaching that process to the different examples, right? So shall I stop here, or will continue for another half an hour? Okay. Yeah, Pradeep Garu. Naresh Babu.
Sir.
Clear, huh? Topic
Oh, clear, sir.
is a new topic for you, or it's a new topic, or you know all this?
New topic, sir.
New topic. Is it
Yes,
clear
sir.
about your approach about this? It's a clear, no? Say
Yes,
got
sir.
some idea, no?
Yes, sir.
What is API? Why we are dealing with this? What
Yes,
is
sir.
the importance? What is the usage of API? Everything you got an idea right now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Except the practical, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll see the practical.
Yes.
So theory part, it is clear, correct?
Yes, sir.
Rajkumar, chala? Mohan Garu,
Yeah, yes.
is it clear?
Yes, yeah.
So have you got some idea already, all this? Today only you are seeing all this?
Yeah, today only I have seen.
Okay, so got idea. It's clear, no? The
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
whatever. Any doubt is there in this?
No,
Whatever
sir.
we have done so far?
No.
Okay, Rekha Garu, is it clear?
Yeah, it's a Fine.
So you got an idea what is API, why, where and all we are using, and what is the future perspective, where and all there is a chances for using, right?
Yeah. I have
So
gotten it.
Yeah. Okay. Even we can create a application and we can approach with the API. That also I will show. Okay. So
Okay.
particularly I am having a plan to show a example of creating a application integration, one app itself. So you can create an app for to understand the weather conditions. You can approach with the AccuWeather. AccuWeather website is there, no?
Yeah.
There you can approach and you can take the API from them, and you can create a application by yourself. So not going completely, because the charges will be there. It's not a free service. Some of the things there is a free, so that I can show some example. So most of the things I will show everything practical also, not only theory. Okay. So whatever the examples I am telling, I'll try to show in the practical also. Okay. Yeah. I'll stop the session now. We'll see tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow means Monday. Okay. So
Yeah.
so thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.